Yes, people, what's going on? Back again. Footy Talk setting. Sava, how you doing, mate? On mute, bro. I can't hear you.
Why am I on mute? God, sorry. Apology. I'm so happy that I'm putting myself on mute these days. Yeah, man, we're going to win the league. It's all good. And we've turned into Man City over the summer, so it's all good. How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, I can't lie. The football you guys are playing has been crazy.
Yeah, what a difference a manager makes, right?
A proper manager that makes.
Proper manager.
You know what I mean? There's not many of them left in football, unfortunately. Like we're going through a weird time in football, and it's like what I like about your manager and that you don't see with a lot of managers these days is they come in and they coach on the ball. Do you know what I mean? A lot of these managers, they want to set up teams a certain way and then they're relying on players to win them games and stuff like that. Your manager is a manager that has a philosophy but coaches on the ball, and you can see it because you wouldn't look at the Spurs team and say necessarily it's the most technical team in the league, but bro, he's got them playing some very entertaining football, and it's just due to him coaching teams on the ball. Pep's the same; he coaches his team on the ball.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It looks like managers like Conte, everything's about off the ball. It's about what you do when you don't have the ball. Same with Jose, to be honest. Same with my manager, how it's looking at the moment. Like that's why there's no patterns in play when the ball's on the floor. Like there's nothing. Leaving players to make up their own decisions, and more often than not, they're getting it wrong.
Yeah, I think for me, what you've just described there is more what I would expect from managers that come into relegation-threatened teams for 10 games to save them from relegation. Let's be hard to beat. Don't worry, we're not going to implement a philosophy in 10 games, but let's make ourselves really difficult to beat. We'll just play a bit direct, see if we can get some corners and win free kicks. But you're right. When you're at a club for a number of years, the way Conte was, I would expect to see a pattern of play. I would expect to see that we're actually playing some football and that you coach the players to make them better, because that's your job, funnily enough. And Postecoglou, not just the football Rants, it's the feel-good factor around the club. Like everyone's smiling. Like forget the fans, the players look happy. The players are attacking every time they get the football, and it's gone from not wanting to watch Spurs play to I don't want to miss a minute of it. Like we're literally taking the game to everyone we're playing against. And look, positive signs. I'm not going to be one of these fans, Rants, I promise. I'm not going to be one of those Spurs fans who starts talking about title races and all that. I'm just happy that we're seeing some football, and yeah, the expectations are good for this season.
Yeah, but you can 100% be happy with the brand of football, the direction, without getting too carried away and start talking about winning stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
it's one step at a time, but at least he's giving you something to be optimistic about and something to actually look forward to. I can't remember the last time I've actually looked forward to watching my team play because I know I'm going to get good football. Aside from the fact that I support them, there's nothing making me want to watch them.
Listen, I hear you. You felt my pain this last year or so. I'm there with you. Look, I did a video actually, a 60-second short that went out this morning called "Man, You Are in a Mess."
Yep.
And that wasn't me deflecting anything from Spurs. Spurs don't win things. People can banter me about that. I'm old and I know that. But what I just can't understand about your club is how since Ferguson's gone, yeah, you've picked up a couple of trophies along the way, but no manager's been able to really implement a philosophy, a harmony, a playing style, a culture. And it just seems like every time the news is about Man United, it seems negative. Like you've had all the stuff with Ronaldo. It was probably this exact time last year, right? Was Ronaldo. You've had the stuff going on with Anthony, the stuff with Mason Greenwood, the stuff now with Sancho, all the Harry Maguire stuff. It just feels like it's never happy there. And you're Man United. You're like, for the last 25, 30 years, you've been the institution of English football. You were the flag bearers of the Premier League. And now it just seems like, I don't know, something's not right. You'll know more than me. Something's just not right. And you've you look like a shadow. You're not scary to play against, and you look like a shadow of yourselves.
No, 100%. We're terrible from top to bottom, and like someone said, only common denominator is the owners. Like we've had loads of different managers. We've had loads of different managers, and it's just the structure at the club. Because even when you look at the recruitment and when you look at the players that are there, the players that have influence, the players that we've targeted, it's just been poor. It's been very, very poor, and there's been no consistency in our recruitment whatsoever. And obviously, ultimately, that comes down to how the club is set up upstairs. So, yeah, like everything about the club is an absolute mess right now. Everything about the club is a mess right now, and lack of preparation, lack of planning, lack of structure is the reason why we end up signing players that don't fit the club. We end up bringing in managers that don't fit the club, like that, and it just goes on and on and on. And then we also tolerate mediocrity and reward mediocrity with new contracts. I think Luke Shaw signed about 3 contracts since 2013. I don't know how he's still at the football club. You know what I mean? And then there's loads of players that can fit into that bracket. Like Harry Maguire should have never been signed. Like there's so many different things that we've done that actually makes no sense. 65 million on Mason Mount, that will never begin to make sense. I don't know what the game plan behind signing this guy was, and it is ultimately the owners are the guys that are bringing in these managers. They're the ones that are hiring the people to do the recruitment. So they're overseeing all of this. So ultimately, even though every single thing may not be directly linked to them, they're at fault for the majority of these things.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, right? Because I think there was a lot of optimism from maybe not from Man United fans. I'm not going to speak for you guys. I'm not a Man United fan, but a lot of shows I went on, Rants, and you know how many YouTube shows people go on, and fans going, "Oh yeah, United second or United third. They've made good signings. They're strong. Ten Hag's been there for a while now." And I'll be honest, I was one of them. I thought Man United would. Listen, you still could, but I thought Man United, definitely in that top 3. Definitely, I thought, you've had him for a year. I thought you'd come out flying this year. Ten Hag's been there a year. There's none of that. Oh, it's my first season excuse. His players now have been signed over 3 windows. And then you start really, really look, the Wolves game, I know you won it, but it set the tone.
It was
the
horrible.
Wolves game has set the tone for some patches in games that I've seen you. There were some moments, I thought, against Arsenal where you looked dangerous in the counter-attack. I thought there was moments against us, especially in the first half, when I thought you looked good. Other than that, it looks all a bit like it looks like it's a new manager that's come in with no ideas.
But that's what I mean. And this is his second season, so it shouldn't be worse, but it is. And that's why I genuinely believe that the more players we give this manager, the worse we're going to get. Because he was better last season when he was using other people's players by the looks of it. Because his talent ID is extremely questionable from what I've seen. Like even when you look at your manager, the players you've been linked to, most of them not household names, but you know what you're going to get from them.
Right.
Like, we're getting linked with all of these players. Most of them are rubbish. And the ones that we have brought in, boy, I just want to see what Amrabat does because I know he's a good player. So I can rely on his quality. Yeah. But the Mason Mount thing, big issue that is. And the fact that he's out the team now, I want to see what happens when he's fit again, if he comes back in, if the manager's got enough bottle to almost admit that he made a mistake and leave him out.
Yeah, I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I didn't understand the Mason Mount signing at all. I think Mason Mount is one of those players that comes through an academy, gets into the team and is adored because he is one of their own, right? And I think there's a certain stigma that comes with that. And you go, oh, yeah, but good old Mason, he's proper Chelsea, isn't he? Proper Chelsea. He'll run through brick walls. He loves the club. Now you're not a Chelsea. Now you've got your big money move. Let's see. What are you about? I've never understood how he plays relentlessly for Chelsea and for England. I'll be honest, I've never seen it. I think he's a run-of-the-mill footballer. But everyone seems to rate this guy. Everyone seems to pick him and they play him. I don't know how he fits in, especially now you've got Amrabat. I mean, Casemiro has to play. Amrabat has to play. Now you've got Eriksen, McTominay, Bruno, Mount. Am I missing a centre mid? Fred went, didn't he?
Fred
Did
left,
Van der Beek go?
McTominay. No, yeah, Van der Beek's. I think he's left as well. I think McTominay.
Right. So you've got those four then vying for one other position with Casemiro and Amrabat. But again, it all very much screams counter-attack. It doesn't scream of control a game. It doesn't scream of we're going to dictate. And that's fine if you are that team that does that. But I don't think Man United fans want that. I don't think Man United fans want to sit and have 30, 40% possession in a game. You're Man United. But as each year goes on, Rants, this your Man United thing is getting further and further away from meaning what it used to mean. That's the worry with the owners, right? That you need some owners that put back in the we're Man United rather than we're just another club.
Yep. No, 100%. And it's like, the style of football is annoying, but at the same time, to me, it's kind of like, if you do want to play that style of football, then recruit accordingly. Because people saying, Liverpool play a similar style. Bro, the difference is, Jurgen Klopp has heavily recruited in the attacking areas because he knows how important final third quality is if you want to play that way. You know what I mean? You have to make teams pay. And they've got Salah, they've got Diaz, they've got Nunes, they've got Jota, they've got Gakpo. All of these guys score goals.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to play that style of football, you don't sign Anthony. Anthony's not a goal scorer. He's never been a goal scorer. So if you want to play counter-attacking football and you need to be clinical here and ruthless in the final third, why do you spend £85 million on a player that doesn't score goals?
Yeah. If you're going to be that team that plays in transition, your wide men need to be rapid. Do you know what I mean? You need clinical. Salah. Not saying now Salah's lost a tiny bit of pace, but again, quick over the ground. You know he's going to score goals. Diaz, right? Even a player. I think a lot of people. I'm going to try and be cool here, Rants. I'm really not cool. People who are sleeping on. I'm hearing that term more and more, and I'm not cool enough to say it. Darwin Núñez. You watch Darwin Núñez play for Liverpool. Big focal point that allows Liverpool to mix it up. They can hit him quickly. They can hit the wings. They know that he's willing to run in behind and give centre-halves a problem. He's very unorthodox. He's raw. But if you're a centre-half, you wouldn't want to play against him. And this is the thing. You look at all those players that Liverpool have put together, in the last 2 years? Gakpo, Diaz, Núñez, and Jota. So I think Salah's the only one that remains, right? All of them can score goals. All of them can play in the transition. And United don't have that. United, like Anthony, I look at and go, okay, you look decent on the ball. You look small. You look tricky, but without really looking tricky, if that makes sense. You don't really ever go anywhere with it. And Rashford, for me, sorry, I know Man United fans might hate me for this. I think he's a really indecisive footballer.
That's exactly what he is. And
really indecisive.
Very, very, very nicely. Do you know what I mean? Very nicely. Indecisive. Zero, like a minus football IQ. It's in the negatives.
Sure.
Like, indecisive is a good way of putting it. Do you know what I'm saying? He lacks football IQ. Like, he has none. He's a purely instinctive player. He's a playground footballer. That's what he is.
Bang on, instinctive. How many times did he go through against Arsenal? Somebody goes Arsenal
and picked the wrong pass.
Right. And I felt like he didn't even make the pass. In the end, he sort of just he sort of ran into trouble. Yeah, and this is the difference between top players and purple patch players. Purple patch players, when they're on form, they're going to do like three or four of them rattle in the bottom corner. right? Top players, 9 times out of 10, they know when to pass. And I watched it even when a good little cameo from Hoyland. So how many football players do we have to remember? Hoyland, you could see straight away. You broke through a couple of times. Hoyland busted
He
a
just
gut.
wants it now.
Yeah, busted a gut, ran into the penalty area like a good centre forward does, held his run, then went to drop his shoulder and go. And you're thinking, Rashford, pass it.
Release it. That's it.
And I could see Hoyland, let's be fair, if Hoyland wasn't a kid on his debut, you'd be turning around and berating that player. Wouldn't you? You'd be like, what are you doing? But listen, I'm not saying, Rashford's got the capability in the next game. He goes and grabs himself a couple of goals. I'm not doubting
Yeah, but he even scored in that game and he was crap. And this is what I'm trying to say. He cost us a goal. And also, like, he cost us in the attacking areas where he was getting the ball, and if he was half decent and he released the ball sooner, we would have scored more goals because we had opportunities where we did catch them in transition, and instead of taking 2 touches and releasing it, he takes 4 and 5 and 6, and then people get over to him, and then in the end, he tries to get the shot off, the shot's not there, he can't pass, and then we just end up turning the ball over, and chances die. Chances die when the ball's at his feet because he's not going to release it. And this is why I said I don't think him and Hoyland work. I don't think they work. I think the only way it works is if you play them as split strikers and you play Hoyland on the right and Rashford on the left, and you play someone in the middle that is going to service both of them. Because if you play them both on the same, like they're not going to link. Like Rashford plays better with Martial. Like he always plays better when Martial plays because Martial's not selfish. And that's just what it is.
So you suggesting like a 4-3-1-2 with Hoyland and Rashford, and then
but it just would mean that just split strikers. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them things where Hoyland's played out wide for Atalanta before, and it's just like you play him on the right hand side instead of Anthony, and you play Martial or Sancho down the middle and someone to link the play. You can't play Hoyland and Rashford together like consistently. We saw a similar thing when Ronaldo came in, Rashford stopped scoring because Ronaldo's a number 9 and Rashford don't pass. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of them ones where someone's going to score, someone's not going to score, innit? They're not both going to score. Rashford won't pass to him. So it's one of them things where even at Liverpool, Núñez started playing down the middle, and then Salah was struggling for goals, and then the manager started playing Núñez out on the left, and it kind of solved the problems, innit? And it's kind of like you need someone that's going to glue it, like Gakpo can glue it in the middle for Liverpool. So it's one of those things where I think we're going to see a problem between them two.
I think what you needed more than anything, I think you needed a Jeremy Doku. I think you guys needed a Kudus. You know what I mean? I think there's been some really good, astute signings from clubs that are smaller than you. That, not saying City with Doku, but I just mean in general.
Yeah, I know.
That aren't the goal getters, but they are the ones that drive you up that pitch. They're the ones that, like, even at I'm not saying Grealish at 100 million, but even at a Grealish, you need that. Someone that will drive you up the pitch, but doesn't lose the ball every time he gets it so it comes back. You know, when City drive up the pitch, Jack Grealish is unbelievably talented at holding on to that ball. 2-3 men around him. He knows how to win fouls. He's strong. And all the team go up with him. Man United, you go at breakneck speed and you're thinking, okay, what you got here? Rashford loses the ball. Straight away, you got 3 or 4 men up top. Now all the pressure is straight back on Casemiro and the back 4. And I just think, I mean, it's almost Conte-like. If I'm brutally honest, it's Conte style of football where we did that with Kane, Son and Kulu. But obviously Kane bangs in goals for fun and Son's better than Rashford, in my opinion. But I don't know. There's something not right. I don't know. What's your feelings then on what's achievable this year, Rants, for Man United?
It's a top 5 this year. They just need to finish in the Champions League spots. I can't trust them to do anything else.
Do you think they will?
Yeah, I still think we will. Think we will, but it's not going to be easy though. Like, we need to go on a run of wins now. Like, we need to go on a run of games. Obviously, it's early. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to overreact because you've seen in football, Like you just put 2 or 3 wins together and look where you are.
Of
Like
course.
that's just how it is. And United are very good at doing that. They're good at putting a run of games together, and then it makes you forget how bad we were in it. So it's just one of them things where,
Yeah.
especially with Amrabat coming in, I think he solves a lot of problems. I said it before. I said I think he's our most important signing. Not a striker, not a defender, not it's him, because he gives the balance in the midfield from an attacking standpoint and a defensive standpoint. He can assist with the first phase of play, so Casemiro doesn't have to be in that regista role, that number 6 role. It's likely that we might even see Casemiro ahead of him. And we might see Cass more advanced because he's dangerous. He's a goal scorer, Casemiro. Like he's underrated as an attacking player because he gets into good areas. He's good in the air and he strikes the ball well. So I wouldn't
And
be
Amrabat
surprised.
allows that, right?
Yeah, he does allow it.
Amrabat allows that to happen because there are players that love the fight. Amrabat loves the battle. He doesn't mind being left one-on-one with an attacker running at him. He will cherish that. I just think that the issue you're going to have is then you've given the armband to Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, so he's going to play even though he's been awful this season.
Right. I mean, yeah, he again the other day, every now and then I see him make a pass and go, that was quality. But at that level of football, it shouldn't be every now and then. These players should be doing this every time they get the football.
Yeah,
and
but he's a volume player, innit? He's a volume passer. The thing is, yeah, Bruno will try the same pass 15 times in a game. And it might come off once and he'll get an assist.
Right, yeah.
And he tries that stupid outside of the foot pass all the time. And most of the time he overhits it. But the one time he doesn't overhit it, like people talk about how good he is. And he's a terrible footballer. And it's just one of them things where because we now live in an era where footballers are judged on their output only, like there's no point even talking about performance because nobody actually cares anymore, innit? Like if anyone that actually knows the game, yeah, like they can't watch him and think that he's good. Like they can't, innit? Like
as long as you stat pad Rants, as long as you stat pad, people will forget if you were a good footballer or not.
Bro, he's awful, yeah. Like people
what
are
the world we
saying,
live in.
he's a creative midfielder, but he's not creative. You know what I mean? And then people say that, he's a number 8, but he's not a number 8. He's not good in tight spaces. They say he's a number 10. He's not good at doing number 10 things. Like he doesn't have any attributes here that are above a 6 out of 10, apart from the fact that he runs a lot. Like,
but he's your captain,
player.
right? He's your captain.
And that's another mistake the manager made. You don't take the armband of Harry Maguire and give it to Bruno. And you definitely don't make Bruno the captain when you've got Varane, Casemiro in the team. Like, you just don't do that.
Right.
It just
I was just about to say to you, surely one of these serial winners, right, who has played for the biggest club in the world. I mean, I don't know, between Casemiro and Varane, I'm going to make someone in the chat will tell us beautiful thing about being live. I'm going to go
10 Champions Leagues or something like that.
I was going to go for about 19 years between them at Real Madrid, something like that. I don't know. And yeah, multiple leagues, multiple titles. And for me, Casemiro stands out as the obvious one. Because, heart of that midfield, winner, leader. But hey, listen, I don't know, man. It's tough. I'm not saying my team's great, but it is nice to know that it's not only my team that goes through these problems.
Yeah, it's mad. And you know what's funny? Yeah, like I was watching a compilation today of Riquelme when he played against England for Argentina. And I was watching him and I was thinking, right, like that's a footballer. Like now people are trying to tell me about this Bruno guy and trying to force this Bruno guy on me. Like I haven't seen proper footballers, innit? And it's like, I'm just like, when was the turning point when football got this bad, innit?
Yeah.
That he's a player that's highly rated in the game and he's absolutely abysmal.
Numbers.
Like, it's crazy, bro. Like I don't even understand it. There's not even one good game, yeah, that he's had against a decent outfit. Not one. Not even one, Like another game against Arsenal where he's nowhere. Like, and in all the big games we play, he's nowhere. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, why would you give him the armband? again, that makes me question the manager. You know what I mean? This comment about Amrabat and Casemiro is spot on. They've been misprofiled, both of them as players for so long. Like Amrabat is very good on the ball, carrying the ball progression, but because he's physical, people see him just as an enforcer. He's not that. And then Casemiro, because he played with two more elegant footballers in Modric and Kroos, people underestimate how good Casemiro is in the attacking areas, because that wasn't his role at Real Madrid. But Casemiro scored a lot of goals last season, and he's already opened his account this season. Like, Casemiro can get you 8 to 10 goals a season for Man United in that midfield. Absolutely.
And this is why you've known me long enough to know now, I don't pigeonhole players into one position like he's a 6, he's an 8, he's a 10. Top players are top players for a reason, right? They can play in multiple positions, they can do multiple things. You look at Kante. People will say, oh, Kante was the best number 6 for the last decade or whatever.
He was never a 6. He's an 8. He's a box-to-box.
Exactly. But you watch Kante. He can do it all. He can drive forward. He can defend. He can pass. Listen, I agree with you. Unfortunately, numbers now, they can be brilliant. They can be very, very useful. But numbers can also really mask how good a footballer a player is. And I think you've got a lot of work to do, and it's crazy saying that after a summer transfer window was shut. But yeah, you need to go again in January. Do you think Ten Hag sees the season out?
If he continues like this, I don't think so. Do you know what I mean? But we'll see, innit? We'll absolutely see. But he can't continue in the vein that he's in. Like, since the season started, lost a few games. The Sancho debacle, you know what I mean? The start that Mason Mount's had as well. Yeah. That's got to have people in charge questioning their decision to give him free reign on transfers. It's got to have it. It's got to make that.
Can I say something that I've noticed with Man U, which I think is interesting? And listen, I could be way off here, just purely from what I've seen. Is obviously with the signing of Onana, it's clear to see he's very comfortable in the football and he wants to play out the back at every God-given opportunity. I almost feel like you're forcing that before you've actually got the players in front of him that are also capable of doing that. That's just purely my feeling.
I think he's signed enough players, though, that he shouldn't get any more excuses.
I agree, but my point is he's brought in the goalkeeper now who looks very comfortable at doing that.
Brilliant.
But the goalkeeper looks comfortable doing it. When he's giving it to your back four, they don't quite look as comfortable. They're like, oh my God, what's this short pass?
I think Lissandro's comfortable. I think Varane is. Do you know what I mean? I think Varane is. And I think that is probably why people are saying we needed another centre-back. Because we know that Varane is... Varane's good on the ball. He's not great on the ball, but he's good enough. But if he gets injured, then the next is Lindelof. And obviously, Maguire's not comfortable. When Maguire came on against Arsenal, we started going long. Like, anyone that was watching the game closely enough, as soon as Maguire came on, we stopped passing it out from the back, and the keeper kept kicking it long to Højlund because we didn't want to play out from the back because we knew that Maguire couldn't do that. And that would have been instructions from the manager.
I think that the interesting thing for me in all of this, right, is you've ended a game at one of the big 2 or 3 away games of the season with both Maguire and Johnny Evans on the football pitch at the same time. And I don't think there would be one Man United fan in their right mind that during the summer would have said that is how you're going to end a game at a big club away from home. What did you make of that? I mean, it just all felt a bit crazy to me.
I think it was, you know what? I think it was unlucky, innit? Like, as much as it was infuriating, it's not the manager's fault that Lindelof, the idiot, went and got himself booked, because he wasn't concentrating. Like, that was a complete bozo move. Like, as a professional footballer, you're not supposed to go to sleep like that. People are saying, he thought the ball was going off, but the ball was going in a straight line, parallel to the line. It was never going out. Like, do you know what I mean? So I don't know why he thought the ball was going out of play when it wasn't. So if he doesn't get booked, we don't have to take him off because the managers looked at it and said, you know what, we're under the cosh. He's on a yellow card. I don't trust him to not get booked. And that's the reason why, that is the reason why the manager took him off. Lissandro, I think it was precautionary or something like that. Do you know what I mean? I seen him training with Argentina today, which I'm absolutely fuming about. Like, I don't know what he was down with. He was just sitting on the floor and then he went off. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really know. That someone saying one of them was ill or something. Or maybe they were. Like, I don't care, innit? Play through it. You know what I mean? It's Arsenal. Like, I just don't care. Like, Lissandro looked fine in the game, innit? So I don't want to hear none of this. He weren't feeding well because he looks fine in Argentina training. So I'm not really even really trying to hear that. Like, we shouldn't have finished the game with them two on the pitch, but that wasn't the fault of the manager necessarily. It was one of them things where we had to end up doing it because of the yellow card and the injury. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Do you know what I mean? But even for the Declan Rice goal, I don't know why that doesn't go to VAR because Evans is clearly being held. Look how much time, that Declan Rice had to bring the ball down, get the shot off, even though it got a deflection on it. Like, that, he was blatantly holding Johnny Evans and stopping him from blocking the shot. Like, it was so obvious. Like, even in real time, everyone must have been looking at the screen thinking, why is Rice there by himself and he's got there's no one going out to him. And then you see the replay and Gabriel's pulled him to the floor. So
yeah, don't get me started, Rants, on VAR. VAR and me are just absolute enemies. I think it's absolutely destroyed football in every way, shape, or form. So don't get me started on that. How Man United's goal was disallowed. What are we doing? What are we doing here? Strikers don't even get the benefit of the doubt of a whisper.
And what happened to that daylight thing, or if a part of your body's on side and that? Where did that rule go out the window?
Mate, it's absolutely infuriating. I mean, whenever I've coached or been around professional coaches and they're coaching centre forwards how to arc their run and bend their run, now they can't do it. You were taught if your feet are on side, you arc your body. You get your Michael Owen now. Michael Owen would have more offsides than anyone I know.
Oh, because for sure, because they were gambling every time.
Right. And you watch how many I'm not just saying him, but he was a master at it. Playing on the shoulder, arcing that run. Now we're getting to a stage where that goal the goal that wasn't given for you guys, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mask the performance or whatever, but I'm watching that thinking, how on earth is that not a goal in modern football? Like, it's killed it for me. Clear and obvious, my backside. Clear and obvious. We're literally using VAR for everything.
Yeah.
Oh, you've scored a goal. We must check it. Cool, so let's check that. Oh, a cross has come in and hit someone's hand accidentally. We must check it. Like, go away. Let's go back to refs and linesmen or assistant referees making the decisions. Some you get, some you don't. Play on. Keep the emotion. Keep the passion. Keep going. You can complain after the game. Keep going. No, now we all have to sit around for 2-3 minutes. Is this line straight? Is this line straight? F off. I hate it, Rants. Isn't it? I hate it.
It's ridiculous. Like, if it's so close that you're not sure, the striker should 100% get given the benefit of the doubt. At the end of the day, we want to see goals in football. That was what we thought we wanted to see, And it's just one of those things where, like, even the perspective that the offside gets shown in. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not clear. Like, VAR was supposed to be used to clarify things, but it's just muddied things. Like, it's made things even worse.
It was meant to stop all the grey areas. Things were meant to be black or white. Now there's so much grey. I don't think black or white exists. Like, it's every goal. It's almost like they're trying to find a reason now to disallow goals.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I used to, when I was younger, I worked for Charlton Athletic and I did my coaching badges there and everything. And I worked with a really good defensive coach. I'm not going to name who it was, but an ex-pro from the Premier League as well. And he always coached people. He was a defensive coach that coached defenders how to coach side on, how to have your body position when defending if you're a centre half or if you're showing your winger down the line. And all of those body shapes, Rants, They were never like me and you in the camera now, straight. They were always like this. You're always side on. And naturally, if you are side on as a human being, I don't care if it's football or not, right? If you are side on,
you make yourself
your
wider
hands, right?
as well.
You are side on like that. You are positioning your body so I can go right, I can go left. Now everyone's defending like that, arms behind their back. And I saw him do a video the other day on YouTube, and he was talking about it's killing defending because defenders now are so, their first thought when they're defending isn't, I must win the ball at all costs. It is, I must remove my arms out the way to not give a penalty at all costs. And it's absolutely infuriating now that, like, it used to be, was it hand to ball? You know, did I actively go, boom, there you go. Oh, penalty, handball. Now it's, I don't know, was he in the natural position? How can you tell that? Things happen like that.
Bruv, every position,
mad.
Every athletic position is a natural position. Like, who are you to tell me what position's natural? If I'm running or if I'm jumping, like, you always use your arms to counterbalance. So there's no such thing as an unnatural position. Like, when you jump, some people might jump with their hands here, with their hands up here. It doesn't matter. Like, when you run, do you know what I mean? Some people have different running styles. People make fun of Raheem Sterling because he's got a very profound running style. Some people run with their hands higher up. Some people run with their hands by their side. Some people run different ways. Who cares, bruv? Like, how are you going to tell me what's a natural position, Do you know what I mean? The funny thing about the situation is, it's like, defending's got worse, but players can't dribble anymore. Like, hey, if you're a dribbler, this is amazing because defenders are off balance now because their hands are behind their back. Like, you should be cooking them. Like, if you can actually carry the ball, like, you're in dreamland right now because defenders can't turn quickly because they can't use their hands for balance. So it's easy now to just take defenders out the game, If you got a nice little drop of the shoulder, you can absolutely cook defenders because you can't change direction without your arms. It's impossible.
Of course it is.
How do you stay on your feet?
How do you jump for first of all, whip balls in. All wingers have got to do now, it doesn't even matter if it's a good cross. Whip balls in. If it hits a hand, you're going to get a penalty, right? Yeah. Someone in your chat has made a really funny comment. Diams age ago had said, and you say these man's acting like people shouldn't have hands or something, like just
but it's true.
Madness.
But it's true. Like, what are you meant to do? What are you meant to do? Like, put your arms behind your back to defend.
No,
it's like, what do you mean?
But like, you look at all the best, like, if you look at the Premier League era for the first 10, 15, 20 years of the Premier League, if I was to say to you, Rants, the best headers of a ball as centre forwards, Duncan Ferguson, Alan Shearer, Les Ferdinand, Dion Dublin, Klinsmann, these people, you watch how they attack the ball when they head, arms are up here. No one's doing that. Like,
you can't jump and win a header with your arms by your side, innit?
Yeah, because how are you directing the ball? How are you generating body power? How are you, and now listen, I don't know, people call me old and say, oh, Savvy, you've got to get with it. Listen, for me, were all the decisions right before VAR? No, of course they weren't. But I tell you what, I feel like there's more controversy now than there ever was. I remember watching Match of the Day and it used to be like, oh, that was never a pen, and it was given and you move on. Now it's, oh, that's never a pen. Hang on, VAR think it is. Is it the lines? And we're debating it more now than when there wasn't technology for it.
No, facts. I mean, before it was like, yo, it's not a pen, cool, get on with it. That's what it was. Yeah. Whether you were happy with it or not, you used to be upset, but you used to get on with it. But when you actually see the evidence and they still get it wrong, it's even more infuriating.
Well, do you know what, right? 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it doesn't matter when, sometime this season, I went down to Dartford. It's just down the road from me, about 20 minutes away, to watch Dartford in the Conference South. Really good game. And you know what I loved? Every time a goal went in, it was a goal. There was no, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, the fans were going mad. There's like 1,000, 2,000 fans there. Everyone's going mad. And as a Premier League fan, I'm thinking, oh, hang on, haven't VAR got to have a look? Everyone's like, there ain't no VAR here, mate. The ball's gone in the net. The ref didn't see something. It's a foul. It's a goal. And it was like, it was a breath of fresh air. Yeah, the quality's not as good, but you know what? Them guys, those fans down there at non-league, they don't care about this.
No,
You either get the decision or not. And I'm so frustrated with it. And this isn't about Spurs not getting decisions, because we've benefited from it. Like the Champions League quarter-final against Man City. We've benefited from it. We've also the Champions League final when we got a penalty against us from Sissoko. And you think to yourself, what happened? Why did we need to get to this stage? Why have they done this?
No, 100%. And this is it. They got the mic'd up thing on Sky Sports now. Listen, all of this is just manufacturing drama in football for no reason. That's all they're doing. Like, it's come so far away from what we know it as now. It's laughable.
Oh.
Like, it's actually laughable. Like, it's one of them things where, what's the point, yeah? What actually is the point in training linesmen and referees when they're not going to give offside and then VAR is going to rule it out anyway? So what's the point in having them there? You might as well not have them there. Like, do you know what I mean? That's like they got self-checkouts now at the supermarket. It's kind of what's the point of having these guys there? Do you know what I mean? Because if the linesman don't flag and then it gets ruled out by VAR, then it's like, what's the point of having them there?
But what's more infuriating, Rants, than anything with VAR, is we have 2 minutes of people in the studio going, yeah, I don't know, we're 2 minutes of the ref telling people to go away while he's listening, just for them people who have seen 25, 30 versions of this replay to go, we think you should go and look at a monitor. Hang on. So you've looked at it 20 to 30 times and still can't tell the ref what it is. Yeah. Why does the ref, if this is the case, this infuriates me so much. Why can't they just turn around and go, we think it might be a penalty, quickly go over and look at the monitor? Why do they have to look at it for 2-3 minutes just to tell him to now go and look at the monitor? You tell me what that has added to football.
Bruv, it's just added nonsense. And then the amount of time it takes for him to run over and all this crap. Do you know what I mean? Leave it out, man. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I hate it.
Dude.
Like, goal line technology, right? Superb. It's an absolute. Did the ball go over the line? Did it not?
Yeah, but that's just basic. Do you know what I mean? And it's easy to do. But like someone said, like in tennis, you've got challenges. Do you know what I mean? In basketball, you've got challenges as well. I don't know what other sports you've got challenges as well. But they should literally say in football, you know what? Each team, you got 3 challenges per half. How it works in tennis is you got unlimited challenges, but if you get 3 challenges wrong, then you get no more, innit? Because sometimes people can just use it to kill time and stuff like that. So it's at Wimbledon it's like that anyway. So it's one of them ones where if in football they said, you know what, you can challenge decisions or something, but you've only got 3 per half or something like that. 3 challenges, and you can only use them for like stuff like possible red card incidents, penalties, or goals. You can only use it for big decisive moments in a game. You can't use it for something stupid.
I agree. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what? I'd be even harsher than you. I'd say you got 1 challenge a half. 1. Yeah. Once you've used your challenge, see you later. Just want to pick up on one comment in your chat. I'd love to just pull apart his theory. Yeah, sure. Marley Mankabara, I love that name. 622 has said, according to these two, football shouldn't evolve. Now, Marley, I'm all for football evolving, but first of all, I'll ask you, Marley, is football that difficult that it needs to evolve? Football, as far as I've ever seen it in my 40 years of being a human being, has been 2 goals, 22 players, a goalkeeper, and 10 outfield players, right? Football's never changed. You score a goal by getting the ball in between the goal, right? It's not really ever changed.
Yeah, but evolution's supposed to make sense, and evolution's supposed to make things better. Imagine if human beings started evolving with shorter arms, bruv, and you can't put your hands in your pockets no more. Then what happens? Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, can't
give me a reason not to buy the wife anything.
But do you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, human beings start evolving with short arms and that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, how does that benefit the species? Like, how is the evolution of football right now benefiting the game?
Right.
It's making it worse.
What's the opposite to evolution?
Well, it's deep.
I don't know. That's what, yeah, right. That is what football is doing.
It's
Listen,
going backwards.
football is a very simple game. It's a really simple game, right? That has never ever relied upon technology. Now, all of a sudden, we need this technology to decide if every single goal is a goal, to decide if every single handball is a handball. Literally, get rid of the refs. Just have a computer reffing it. What's the point?
That's what I'm saying. Like literally. Like, what's the point of having refs?
Yeah, listen, I'll be honest. I've never seen anything like it. I see more things now. Look, but first of all, strikers have to celebrate twice. Right?
Or not at all.
Or you celebrate once and then you get the high and the low without nothing ever happening for your team. You have to celebrate twice, or everyone stands around. All the 60,000 people who are at the Emirates or whatever that stadium holds, plus all the players are standing there going, is it a goal? Is it not a goal? So Man U have gone from winning that game to losing that game because a line on a board said that his nose hair was slightly, mate, I can't get with it. And then you get these people rants. You get these people who go, it's not VAR, it's the people that use it. Nope. If VAR wasn't there in the first place, we'd never have to worry.
But those are the same people that say, oh, guns don't kill people, people kill people, innit? But it's like, if they had no guns, like, how they gonna kill people?
Right. You know yeah.
It's that stupid argument, innit? It's
a
very stupid argument. If VAR was not there, the referees would just be able to do their job. Do you know what I mean? We have to take it for granted that the referees are there impartially to do a job. Yeah. This is it.
I just don't ever remember this. Like, you think about it, Sky Sports have an entire hour on a Monday morning, right, that is focused on, let's now look at all of the big VAR decisions of the weekend. They watch it back with an ex-Premier League referee, is it Dermot Gallagher? And even then he's going, well, this one could have been, it could have been. So basically we've got technology which doesn't give you a definitive decision.
There you go. If it doesn't give you a definitive
human decision.
If it is still down to human interpretation, you don't need it. You don't need it, because all you've done is wasted time. That's all you've done. Because if we're still going to go down to interpretation, then it's pointless, man. And this thing about people getting booked for goal celebrations, like, bro, at the end of the day, the reason why they introduced the booking of goal celebrations was because of the sponsors on the front of the shirt. Like, when I found that out, I was laughing. You're not allowed to remove the shirt, like, because of the sponsors, because of the sponsors on the front. So you get booked for it, like, and that is the weirdest rule ever. Like, that doesn't make no sense. I don't know who was the first person that decided to take their top off anyway. It's such a weird reaction to scoring a goal anyway. It's like, why are you going to take your top off, man? It's just like when you see people get into fights and they rip off their shirt in the middle of the street. And it's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah. If I take my shirt off, I can fight better.
Yeah, it's just like, you can't fight better, with your t-shirt off. That's not real. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. It'd be different if you had a suit blazer on, but why is someone ripping off their t-shirt to fight? It's weird.
I know you go to the gym and shit, but I don't ever want to take my shirt off, right? The only person who sees me with my shirt off is when I get into bed with a wife, and even she looks and goes, oh, God, you're not what you were, Savo, were you? But, the whole thing's crazy. We've literally implemented a system that now relies on human judgment, which is what we had in the first place. Human judgment. As I said, I get it. Goal line technology, nice and easy. Yes or no, was it over the line? Right? Yeah. Now, look, sorry, I know that went into a massive VAR rant, but I can't stand it. I get people who have got refereeing badges.
Then it solves 100%.
I got people with refereeing badges going, yeah, but Sava, let me come and explain to you. No. No. Football was better. Like, did you see? They brought up today, I don't know if you watched Sky Sports today, they had Howard Webb. Howard Webb, who's in charge of all the refs. Sure. And he actually, they were going through the gap from your game, actually, when Onana come and sort of, absolutely Chris Eubanks. And basically, it showed the conversation. It actually showed you the footage of the conversation between the ref on the day and VAR as it happened. And I'm sitting there watching this, and they're going, "Oh well, actually, the Wolves player won the ball first, so it wasn't really." And could he have got the header? And I'm sitting there going, "This is crazy." Like in any other era without VAR, that is a penalty. Like, forget who it is.
Yeah,
what
but you
club.
know what it is? They just with goalkeepers always come out for the ball and clatter people. All they need to do is change the rules to say that if the goalkeeper comes out to collect the ball, any collateral damage is legal. That's what they need to say. They need to say, listen, if you connect with the ball, like if you connect with the ball before the goalkeeper, then bro, you're just collateral damage. Like, it's either you need to say that the goalkeeper's allowed to command the area, and if he clatters you, he clatters you. Do you know what I'm saying? And then, or you give penalties, one or the other. Like, but the thing is, there's no clarity on what's a foul for the goalkeeper and what's not a foul. Because, for instance, if you run into the box and you go round the goalkeeper, like I've seen instances where a player's kick the ball past the goalkeeper, kick the ball away from the goal that's going out for a goal kick and won a penalty, even though they weren't in control of the ball. And my thing is, if the goalkeeper dives for the ball and you kick the ball away from the keeper's hands, and you weren't going to win the ball back, it shouldn't be a penalty. Because it's like, it's a con, you've conned the ref, like, do you know what I mean? If you can't catch the ball after you've played it, it's not even, like how is it a penalty? Like,
Let me ask you a question. If a centre forward, right? If a centre forward had gone in like a battering ram, like Onana did, forget the hands, forget it, gone in like a battering ram, knocked over a goalkeeper and a centre half, but had headed the ball in, you're telling me that goal wouldn't have been ruled out within a second, right? But goes the other way? No. Listen, it was more that Howard Webb was justifying it, and I sat there and thought, you're the man in charge of the refs. This is worrying. This is truly, truly worrying now that you're the man making the decisions. But I don't know. Listen, and something else will happen. First game back, the first round of weekend Premier League football back will be dominated with why was this given, but the same incident at this ground wasn't given. It's no time for it. I dislike VAR.
But this is exactly it, and this is the problem. There's too many inconclusive moments coming from something that was supposed to make things definitive, and that's why I think it's a net negative. Like, it's pretty much a failure.
I agree. No, I completely agree. I completely agree, mate. But what can you do, eh? I'm just a grumpy old man that wants football to go back to how it was.
Yeah, it's nonsense, man. Do you know what I mean? But guys, make sure you smash the likes. Let's get up to 500 likes, man. Plenty of you guys in here. Make sure you subscribe to Savage channel as well. The link is in the title. Have you got anything else coming up for the day?
I'm jumping on with Henry in a second. So we'll be talking about a few things Spurs. And if anyone would like to subscribe, please do. I'm 55 away from 11k. So that would be really appreciated if 55 of however many in here would go over. And I've got a 24-hour charity stream again this Saturday. So it's all good fun. Giving away, auctioning off a James Maddison number 10 shirt. And all good. But thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Amazing. So guys, you already know what to do. Smash that like button and I will see you guys in a bit.